Looking for the volume. There it is. Hello, those of you at home. You're going to pause this and work on this. Friend of yours is showing you her work and seeing that she's getting the first answer wrong and the second answer correct. Oh, sorry, the first answer right and the second answer incorrect. What do you think is going on here? What's the difference? Let's see what we can figure out. By raising hand, did anybody, those of you at home, pause and think and then go for it. By raising hand, did anybody have some ideas on this? Like, anybody have some ideas on this? Cora, I heard you saying something. What were you saying?
On the bottom one, I said that she added the decimals instead of
Oh, sure. And then on this one, well, on this one she added them or she subtracted too. Like, we're not sure what's going on because we haven't added or subtracted any of these yet, right? So let's see what happens here. P.S. I love your shirt. The Offspring are extremely underrated. All right, let's see here, guys. It's the 124th day of school. Since the proper divisors of any number never add up to 124, it's an untouchable number. I think an easier way to explain this is to show you in the negative. Can someone give me a number that it is between 1 and 100? 60. I heard 60. So let's make a list of the proper divisors of 60. That's every number that goes into 60 other than 60. Go! 1, 2, 3, 6, 10, 5, 30. They can't do 60. 20, 15. Is that all of them? Yeah, we can't do decimals, I'm afraid. I picked a really annoying number for this. That's going to be, 12 goes in there. You're right. We almost missed 12. That would have been bad. But I think, and then 4 then obviously has to go in there too, right? Right? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Okay, 30 that's 60. That's 20. That's, hang on, that's another 12, 18, 20. That's another 20. That's 8. So that would be 108. So those all add up to 108, which is why 108 is not an untouchable number because the proper divisors of 60 add up to it. Happy National Flapjack Day! Yay! Pancakes are great. They're pretty great. Yeah, I love pancakes. How many of us love pancakes? Absolutely. You know, I agree waffles are better because they are just pancakes with abs. But, and then they can hold syrup and butter in there, and that's delicious. But I still love me a good pancake. You know what I do? I like to take a fork and I like punch the holes in the top of my pancake before I put any syrup on it, so that the syrup seeps into there, and it really helps. But really, I'm just turning it into the world's weirdest waffle. Anyway, what's our first essential question? And I would love to get that from Sir Josh. What happens if we try to add or subtract values in scientific notation? Okay, go ahead and write that down for me, guys. By the way, Jeopardy, that's not the capital. The capital of Canada is Ottawa, not this more famous city, home to the CN Tower with which it often shares its name. Does anyone know what that is? I heard you say it, Dash. Toronto is the correct answer. Toronto is not the capital of Canada. And then woodworking tools. So it's domino something. Does anyone know what that is? It's a domino joiner. It's kind of a wild piece of equipment. Mr. McGowan, he knows how to work one, but it's like the only way to get like joints of cabinetry to look correct. Like you need that crazy, crazy tool to make it happen. But in any case, let's see what we got here, guys. Underneath all this, got a pencil. Scientific. That's scientific notation. Addition / subtraction. Let's see here. Oh, wrong button. Go ahead and pull that out. Let's see, got to get to my notes. Yep, that's happening. We're getting it all settled. We'll have something posted on the window over here that shows everybody who's handed in their slips on Monday. So be on the lookout for that. Okay, here we go. Nice try. It was trying to freak me out. Okay, adding and subtracting values in scientific notation. Yay! There we go. 3 cows. 3 cows, Bessie, Bossy, and Moo Moo live on a farm. This is Bessie. This is Bessie. I mean, it was Bessie. More accurately, they lived on a farm. You have recently murdered them in order to eat their flesh. Because, well, that's what it is, right? That's what you do to cows when you have hamburgers. Yep, yep, yep. Yeah, I know you only just met them. It's like, here's a picture of Bessie. She's a hamburger now. Well, that's not fair. She's a lot of hamburgers now. Anyway, Bessie had 2.2 times 10 to the 5th grams of edible meat on her. Bossy had 1.51 times 10 to the 5th grams of edible meat on her. And big ol' Moo Moo had 7.5 times 10 to the 5th grams of meat on him. So when I say teach, I want you to say, okay, how much meat are you getting out of Bessie, Bossy, and Moo Moo all together? If we added up all the weights of Bessie, Bossy, and big ol' Moo Moo, how much are we getting from that? Give it a try, and here we go. Not big ol' Moo Moo, teach. Yeah, big ol' Moo Moo's a big ol' steak now. Mmm. Yum, yum. We didn't waste any of big ol' Moo Moo, though. All the organs became cat food. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. You're very welcome. Someone once told me that Big Ol' Moo Moo sounds like a children's book, and I was like, this is the world's worst children's book. Yeah. It's like, the magic school bus goes to the slaughterhouse. Yeah. I don't think quite as that high. I don't think quite that high. Well, let's talk about it. We're going to talk about it. It's the first time we've seen it. It's not a surprise. This is tricky stuff. Okay. Let's see what we came up with, guys. Can I get you in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Let's see here. Molly, what am I going to do to these 3 numbers to find out the value, to find out how much they all weigh together? We're going to add them. Oh, I'm going to freeze this screen. Those of you at home, if you didn't write those numbers down, that's okay. I'm going to freeze the screen so I can write those numbers down. Will you guys write those numbers down if you haven't already? Let's see here. 2.2 times 10 to the 5th was, oops, wrong button. So that was Bessie. Bessie, she was the sweetheart. 2.2 times 10 to the 5th grams. Then we got Bossy. Bossy had attitude, but also a heart of gold. 1.51 times 10. Well, not literally. The heart was made of meat like the rest of her. So, and now it's cat food. Mm-hmm. And big ol' Moo Moo. Big ol' Moo Moo is 7.5 times 10 to the 5th grams. And so what we're going to do what Molly said. We're going to go ahead and add all these up. So 2.2 times 10 to the 5th plus 1.51 times 10 to the 5th plus 7.5 times 10 to the 5th. Now, what do you suspect? Because, again, we've got these numbers here. I've got these green numbers. I've got these Yeller numbers. Yeah, like Old Yeller, in case you weren't sad enough already. We'll bring up that movie. Oh, just every day. You guys are great. I just like this lesson because it's funny to me. Okay. It is funny. To me, anyhow. I don't know. I feel comfortable about it. Like, Hey, you know what's funny is that people are always like, Mr. Peterson, don't you offend vegetarians with this lesson? And I'm like, never. What do they have to be mad about? Like, they're like, yeah, you guys should feel bad about it. I'm very comfortable with what happened to the food that I ate, and I appreciate what they did for me. Um, Molly, what do you suspect we do with the green numbers? Yes, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to add them up. So 2.2 plus 1. Oh, I got to do it. Hang on. Let's see here. Okay, guys, do it with feeling this time. Big smiles, little dance if you can. See what we can do here. Yes, exactly, Cora. Oh, TI SmartView, TM emulator software for the TI-30X/TI-34 multi-view. You're not all singing. TM calculators, Texas Instruments, validating software license. Dot, 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 dot. I think you guys ruined it. It went away. Well, there it seeds back now. Ah, you guys, you have to sing it. Look, if you're not going to do it with your heart and soul, I mean, I guess I get that, but like you've got to at least try to sing it, otherwise it's going to not work. Okay, yeah, exactly. Okay, so we're going to do 2.2 plus 1.51 plus 7.5, and that's 11.21. Okay. Molly, what do you suspect we're going to do with the purple numbers, all those tens? We're going to keep it the same. They don't change at all. Now, this is probably the tricky part. This is the hardest part, I think, to do it. What do you think happens to the yellow numbers? It is one of those. So if we were multiplying them, like if it was 2.2 times 10 to the fifth times 1.51 times 10 to the fifth times 7.5 times 10 to the fifth, we would add the exponents. So what do you think actually happens here? We keep them the same. They don't change at all. And that might freak you out a little bit, but put your pencils down for a second, and I'm going to show you why that shouldn't freak you out. It's because if I was just going to add Bessie and Bossy, that would be 2.2 times 10 to the fifth plus 1.51 times 10 to the fifth. And that's really 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 220,000 plus 151, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if I add them up, it's a big number, but did I change how many decimals that I moved from here to here? No, it was the same every time. So it would be 3.71 times 10 to the fifth. The only problem is, guys, is that in scientific notation, are my answer yes or no? So let's see if we can adjust it. Let's see here. That's going to be Conrad. How would you adjust my answer here to be in scientific notation? So it would be 1.121 times 10 to the what? Beautiful. How many of us either got that or after seeing that once understand that and are feeling really good? Yeah, when we add values in scientific notation, you just add the regular numbers, those coefficients, and then you keep the 10 and the exponent the same. Unless. Let's talk about some pig. Yay. It is. Bossy, the smallest of the cow, had 1.51 times 10 to the fifth grams of deliciousness on her, remember? Wilbur, a pig, had only 5.4 times 10 to the fourth grams of meat, but admittedly, some of it was bacon. Yum. Anyway, how much meat did you get out of these two pals because they were friends in life, all together? Oh, it's okay. Don't feel too sad. It's all right. Guys, it's okay. Listen, Bossy and Wilbur will meet again one day on my bacon burger. Anyway, when I say teach, I want you guys to say, okay, will you talk to each other? What makes this problem different than the last one we did? What makes this problem different than the last one we did, and how do you think we're going to manage it? Give it a try, and here we go. Wilbur, no! Teach! Yeah, Cora, it's true. This is the sequel to Charlotte's Web. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is what? Uh, that's okay. No, hey, false sneeze. Sorry, what was your question? Ooh. So, yep, your calculator will definitely do it, but let's make sure we understand why that's happening too. And yet, so far, Bronson. Yes, sir. My man, absolutely. Way to go. Way to go, Bronson. Bronson's got it. That's okay. Now you just double up. That means you get 2 dub coin. I'll keep an eye out for you. I'll keep an eye out for you. Let's see what we got here, guys. Can I get you back up here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? So it was Bossy and Moo. So, or sorry, Bossy and Wilbur. So Bossy, she had indeed 1.51 times 10 to the 5th grams of beef on her, and then Wilbur. Oh, I forgot to write down Wilbur. Was Wilbur 5.4 times 10 to the 4th? 5.4 times 10 to the 4th grams of meat on him. You're making a nice chili or something where you mix the beef and the pork. That's good stuff. Absolutely. That's true. It's a big pot of chili. So we're going to add these together. 1.51 times 10 to the 5th plus 5.4 times 10 to the 4th. Now, it's true, guys, that your calculator will do that for you, but I want to make sure we understand why what happens happens. Bronson, you noticed something about this. What did you notice? The exponents don't match. That's right. Which one did you change? Did you change Bossy or Moo? Oh, sorry, Bossy or Wilbur. Excuse me. You changed Wilbur? Bossy. You changed Bossy. Well, I mean, here's the thing. We got to change Bossy while we can, because in life, no one could change Bossy, right? Like, she was just who she was. What's up? You could absolutely do both ways. Let's take a look. So if I want that 5 to turn into a 4, I have to grab the decimal, and should I move it one space to the right, the direction that it wants to go, or one space to the left, the direction it doesn't want to go? Let's move it one space to the... Actually, it's the right. You had it right, Jayla. You had it right, Jayla. I saw Jayla pointing to the right nice and hard. That was good. That's exactly right. Jayla, that's okay. Oh, no, no. That's the thing. Scientific notation actually is really nice that way. Like, it does what you want it to. Because if we... This is saying... Grab the decimal and move it 5 spots to the right. So if I put it here, from there, it's only got 4 spots to go. So that would change it to 15.1 times 10 to the 4th plus 5.4 times 10 to the 4th. And now we can just do the normal thing. We add the regular numbers, 15.1 plus 5.4, and you get 20.5 times 10 to the 4th. Josh, is that in scientific notation, yes or no? Great, so we're going to grab that decimal and do what with it? Yeah, 2.05 times 10 to the 5th. And by the way, Bronson's 100% right. If you'd have grabbed this decimal and then moved it back one, this would have turned into 1.51 times 10 to the 5th plus 0.54 times 10 to the 5th, and you would have gotten 2.05 times 10 to the 5th. They would have both worked perfectly. Great observation there, Bronson. Okay, we got time for one more question about these guys. How many more grams did Bossy have on her than Wilbur? How is that a different question? If Bossy had 1.51 times 10 to the 5th and Wilbur had 5.4 times 10 to the 4th, how many more grams did Bossy have than Wilbur? What am I going to do with those two numbers, and what's that going to look like? Give it a try and teach. What are you thinking, Almas? Yeah, go for it. See what you can do. Is that what you were going to say over here, Molly? Subtract them? Yep. Okay. Let's see what we got here. So if we do 1.51 times 10 to the 5th. 5.4 times 10 to the 4th. Okay, can I get you guys in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Rachel, do you want to adjust so that the match comes from Bossy? You're going to change Bossy's number, or do you want to change Wilbur's number? Well, luckily we get to pick whichever one we want. So do you want to do it like Bronson did it, or do you want to do it like I did it up here? Sure. So that would be 1.51 times 10 to the 5th, and then I grab that, scoot it over to make it minus 0.54 times 10 to the 5th. And if I do 1.51 minus 0.54, I get 0.97 times 10 to the 5th. But is that in scientific notation, everybody? I would say whatever, and I would say, no, we're going to scoot that over, make it 9.7 times 10 to the 4th, and that's how that is. I'm going to tell you guys, that's actually only required for the level 4 question. This is like, this is kind of like a level 3 plus. How many of us are feeling just fine and dandy about those? You guys doing okay? Do you guys want to hear the saddest thing about slaughterhouses?
No.
Okay. Did you know that every slaughterhouse, at least every cow slaughterhouse, has a resident cow that lives there? Oh, have I already told you guys this? Oh, yeah. Okay, never mind then. That's just a reminder. Yeah.